never had help now. Waiting on a deal on my own time, on my own grind. You know we ain't never gonna quit.
Take my hand, baby girl, let's go. You know life's too short. Don't you miss the boat?
Greetings and welcome to Grow Moringa Farms in Plant City, Florida. I'm Kendrick Henry, your local USA Moringa farmer. I'd love to explain to you some of the different ways that you can actually make a living, create revenue, and have different streams of income growing one tree known as the Miracle Moringa tree. And I've been growing moringa for about 8 years in Tampa, Florida. I started planting moringa trees on other people's backyards, OPP, other people's properties. Now it's grown from a local Florida co-op to a worldwide collective made up of several different co-ops. I'm teaching everyone in the members area, and you can learn more about our private members area here at growmoringa.com. Just download this free manual and it'll tell you all about our private members area where you can learn all the answers about moringa at growmoringa.com. And this is the free moringa manual. It'll help get you into the Grow Moringa Collective and teach you everything you need to know about the moringa tree. There are several revenue streams that you can create just growing moringa, and I'd love to go in with you today. You're going to start with soil. And you'll also have moringa seeds. And these are some things that you'll start with, and maybe you'll start with some moringa trees. And then maybe get to moringa products. So we'll start with soil. As you put your seeds in your soil, these are working together. And ways to make income in the plant business or in the nursery business or in the agricultural business is to utilize all waste streams and purchase things in bulk to retail and resell as you are doing your business. So with soil, I have some inputs to make really good soil. So I'll call this a plus, or maybe even an input is even like a negative, just to be really exact. So this is a negative, and I'll add azomite. And the reason why it's a negative is because it might cost money initially. So this is rock dust, something that I'll put in the soil to make the soil a little bit more mineral rich. If say your soil is lacking of minerals, you want to add some azomite rock dust. You can buy this in bulk and then end up turning the small bags into revenue. So you might buy in bulk, but then you can sell the bags and make revenue off of the smaller bags. I would take these small bags after buying a pallet of azomite rock dust, take the small bags to the farmer's market, because when you have all these things at the table, somebody might want to get some seeds, buy some trees, and then in between there, they're going to also want some material like azomite rock dust to put in their soil. So that way they have stronger seeds and trees themselves. Right on, right on. The next thing that you're going to want to most likely add to this is the input is composted soil. And this makes up like sand and chips, wood chips. And this can be a negative or kind of like equal. So we'll put both, because you could potentially purchase like 25 yards of soil for a couple $100 and get a nice clean sandy chips composted soil mix. So you could buy this, or you could end up making it. One of the ways to make it is actually from food scraps. So this is kind of like a net zero, because you can make food scraps from veggies and things like that. That makes a soil, so that's an additive. This is kind of saying like free. I know you had to pay for the food, but you already ate the food, but then the scraps were going to just be trash. So you want to utilize your food scraps. This can also be sold from this, you're going to end up getting worms. This is a positive, and this could be money right here. You could sell these in cups. So from that, you've got worms. That's a positive. I want to put it in here. I want to start getting more color coded. So positive is going to be in the green. This helps you make money. This helps you make money, azomite. So this might be red. So you've got your worms and cups. These worms could also produce castings. So this is a plus as well. Castings, worm castings. So you can sell the worms in the cups and you can sell the castings. So even just this is starting to produce quite a bit. Composted soil from the food scraps, yeah, that's definitely a plus. This is actually going to go to a green. You might have some inputs that you're going to need also, which might be free or costly, but that's water / rain harvesting. But you could potentially, so like this might be here, this might be here, this might be here. But potentially, and you might have to spend some money for watering your seedlings. You might have to spend on irrigation. So this could be negative. And this is going for seeds and trees, which might cost you some money in the red for the irrigation. But from that, that cost with the water, because the water might cost you electricity. So your soil that you get, so we actually have a few more inputs that we have to put in here. Sometimes we have to put in perlite, for drainage. So this is a negative cost. That's going to be an input. But you could also sell bags. So this could be in bulk. A lot of these things can be in bulk. So this could be a plus. Just different ways to have things already on the property that you might have to spend some money on. So you might have a cost for some perlite. We've got to bring in some peat moss. We've got some inputs like perlite, azomite, rock dust, making some composted soil. This is kind of like your base for making soil. You also want to put some oak mulch, oak chips / mulch. This can be a free, so this is a 0. Essentially, you can get this dropped off in bulk quantities to your property using chip drop, or even going to local tree trimming companies and just finding the local tree trimming companies and let them know that you have a location that they can drop off for free. They'd be happy to drop off. Then from there, you could even sell the loads. You know, just have people come onto your property and potentially pick up loads, or drop off loads of oak mulch to other properties. So this could be a positive. So even a free orange turning into a positive green. Make some money off of that. Great, I'm having fun just kind of breaking this down. This is just for soil. We haven't even really gotten out of soil yet, because soil in itself, the business of creating soil, is super valuable. There's tons of revenue streams to be made in just working with soil. Got the oak mulch, got the peat moss, got the perlite. Oh, you know what else we want to put in there? We want to put in there biochar. This could be free. This could be something that you make. We'll split it. This could be something that costs a little bit or is a little bit of a zero, because there are some materials that you would have to buy, but for the most part you could break this down and sell also biochar. From this, essentially you're making biochar from chips and even like bamboo or sticks. You could even make biochar from cuttings. You know, even for the biochar, we could do like seed cake, and we can go over here and do the oil. So one of the things that you can make from the seeds, and we'll go ahead and just kind of put maybe even like this, is the oil. Seed oil. The seed oil by itself can be in bulk or in small bottles. This is a big plus. This is also a plus. Moringa seeds is a big plus. Moringa trees is a big plus. And Moringa products is a big plus. So these are all revenue streams. And soil is a big plus. Definitely making some revenue from the products. We're going to make some revenue from the seed oil itself. From the seed oil, you can make soaps. You can make salve. You can make cosmetics. Big plus. Any kind of cosmetic is for the oil. It's great. Now the oil can also be put into capsules. So you could have oil capsules. From the Moringa leaf product, you could have the powder, which is a big product, big plus, can also be made into capsules. So powder capsules and oil capsules are big plus. Just from getting the oil, you can make oil capsules, and then from getting the powder from the leaves, which we'll get into, will also be big business. You could do bulk, wholesale, or retail. Retail is big. Let's get into the powder here in a second after we kind of finish out this side with the oil. When you have the seeds, you'll want to get a seed machine. So a machine might be an expense. You know, press machine. That's definitely a red. From the seeds, you can get a few things from the seeds. First of all, you're sifting the seeds and you're getting the paper off the seeds, so you can get wing paper. Lots of different things that you can get with the wing paper, canvas, paintings, essentially art and craft. Just from the wing paper. So these are all little things that you can make from the paper. The wing paper itself is a big plus. So put a few greens on there. We're making paper right now from the seed wings, and we haven't even really, without wasting anything. So we don't want the paper to necessarily go through the machine. So we're able to bypass the machine, have it go to waste, and harvest the paper before we put it in the machine. In between planting your seeds in your soil will be an expense, will be the the pellets, or the pots, some of the pots. That's going to be an expense in between having your soil and your seeds. You might have to purchase those peat moss pellets. You could buy these pellets in bulk and then also sell the pellets in small quantities. And that could end up becoming a positive. So anything that you're buying, you can turn into a positive because you're buying in bulk and being able to offset it by selling it in small baggies. So say you want to sell trees in pots. This is big money. And if you sell trees in pots, you might have that, you might have to buy pots. So this is a little bit of a negative. Just kind of trying to put in most of the expenses as well, knowing that there is some investment involved, right? So you may have to buy pots, but you can sell the trees in pots. You may have to buy the seeds up front, so there is a little bit of an expense. You may have to buy the seeds up front, so we can put that also, which would be an expense because you put your seeds in the pots to sell it as trees. Now, once you have trees in pots, you also have the ability to go from, say, like the pellet. You can sell the pellet, but you can also pot it up and sell it as a 1 gallon, and that's even more money. And then you can sell it up into a 7 gallon, and that's even more money. And then you can sell it up to a 15 gallon, and that's even more money. So it's just time. The time that you're willing to take in growing the trees and being patient with the process. Start off in a pellet, sell pellets for a couple bucks, pot it up into a 1 gallon. A few months later, you've got a couple more bucks. If you didn't sell those ones, pot those up into 7 gallons, you've got even more money. And then after like a year to 2 years, if you haven't sold them all, then you've got a 15 gallon, 2 to 3 year old moringa tree that you're selling for sometimes up to $100 a piece. So sell your trees in pots. That's a big one. That's a huge one. Now you can sell your trees in pots, and we were going to go to cuttings. I wanted to kind of put cuttings in here because cuttings is a big one. You can go ahead and just put cuttings here. So you could get 10 cuttings that are 2 inches in diameter by 10 inches long and make $50 from that. Big money from just cuttings alone, right? And then you're also making biochar from cuttings. So this could be free in that sense. These cuttings are also something that you're putting in to sell your trees. So you can put cuttings into pots to sell those. So your trees are producing cuttings. The cuttings are money. The cuttings are also creating pots, trees in pots. The trees in pots continually are also producing product at the same time. They're producing a few different things, as well as the trees themselves are also producing things like flowers. This is money. The flowers are used in tea. If you go to powder, you might have fresh Greens. Big money, fresh greens, you pick. But then you also have dried, loose leaf by itself. But then it makes tea when you add things to it. So you can add things to it like mint or rosemary or hibiscus, right? And it makes a tea. The flowers are also added to make tea as well. This is big money. Tea is huge. This is one of the oldest businesses still in existence. Dried loose leaf by itself, you can sell this in the kilos. Is huge. This is so huge right here. This is massive. Massive forms of revenue just from the loose leaf. You've got flowers, you've got tea all around. From the loose leaf, you can also add alcohol to make extract. So there is the negative cost of the alcohol, but the extract is a huge profit margin. Huge profit margin on the extract. So the alcohol might cost, but the extract is huge. And then going off on the fresh green side of things, you've also got the powder as well as the biostimulant, which is why we're also going to add in between here and here, because moringa trees to products, this might be for human, this is going to be for plant and animal consumption. Woo! That's big money right there. Plant and animal consumption. The biostimulant is a powder and also is a liquid. This is big money here for the product industry for moringa. This is huge. I don't know if we could get any bigger than this. Can we just color this whole thing green? Fresh greens is huge. Plant and animal consumption. So I mean, you've got chickens, big money. You've got goats, sell this for goats, sell this to rabbits. I mean, animal food, it's huge. So from the trees, you've got plant and animal food, multi-billion-dollar a year industry, chickens, goats, rabbits, horses, cows, anything that you can think of on the farm, they will eat this. Then going into human consumption, from the products also too, in the pots, we're gonna get lots of tubers. Those tubers are the bare root tubers, and that is a product that we can use for the moringa spice. This is also big money, just the tubers themselves. You can sell bare root tubers. So, and this can be also intense. Growing the trees intense is going to get you lots of tubers. But remember how I was saying you could also get flowers and cuttings and greens, especially microgreens, from all these things, even from, once again, just doubling up, tripling up on everything, even when you have it in the pot. From there, and even going more, then we've got the spice, which you're able to harvest the the dried loose leaf. This is also made into powder for the spice. This is big money on the spice. It's a huge business to get into with moringa, just adding it to other things. Tea is huge. You know, maybe add it with ginger and turmeric and other things with the loose leaf. Fish food. So the plant animal food is good for the fish. You can make, from the powder, you make tablets without using the veggie caps, which is a little bit of an expense. So that is an expense that you will need for making capsules or the veggies. But look at all the green, man. Of course, there's overhead and other operations expenses with this too as well. From the fresh trees, actually, you're gonna get a huge product. Fresh drumsticks. And this goes into also, you know, having seeds and making oil. But this is huge. This is probably what you are after right here. Big money with the drumsticks. Because from there you can dry those fresh drumsticks if you don't sell them, and these drumsticks will go for $10 a pound at least, if not more. Oh, and let's not forget that when you are making seed oil, which also makes more soil, is the seed cake. Going into biostimulant is also fertilizer. Big money with this, because this also goes back into making soil. You can chop these fresh drumsticks up for recipes. This is getting over into the food product side of things with fresh greens, drumsticks, just lots of recipes. This is big money with cooking and prepping moringa as a food source, fresh from the farm to a restaurant or a smoothie shop or anything like that. Seed oil is great in food as well. It's cooking oil, is over 200 degree smoke point. It's very good for cooking. Capsules, you can break the capsules down into different sizes, so we have lots of different sizes here. You can get 00 or the 0 size, but you can also have 100 count, 500 count, or 1,000 count capsules. Those are all money. You've also got seed powder capsules. So you can make another product from the seeds going into capsules. Right on. That's another added product. So you can actually take the seeds, de-shell it, de-hull it, and make powder capsules out of the seeds. Then take the seed hulls and then also put that back into soil. So you've got the powder on one end and you've got the hulls going into the other end. Seed shells. Everything that you're making goes back into making your soil. So whatever's, you know, this is adding to your soil, which didn't cost you anything actually. Oh, when we're making the seed oil, we also have scrub for the body, and we also have butter. Essentially, these all come off of and byproducts of making the oil, which if we put down here, all make extra income from pressing the seeds to make oil, added income. Just trying to find different ways to make income. This is the Moringa revenue stream. Lots of revenue streams here with just growing Moringa trees. I'm trying to see if I'm missing anything else. The cuttings is a big one. The trees themselves, loose leaf biostimulant, all the products and powder sample kits is a huge one. All these kits that you can put together just by having all of these different products is a huge revenue stream. So then start putting these items together to make kits. I mean, this one then goes to everything. All forms of revenue can come back to our kits. We have tons of kits coming out with the spice and the extract and the powder and the tea, with trees and biostimulant, and offer kits for all of these things. We went through all kinds of things, inputs, outputs, use for the wings and the paper. Hopefully I'm not really missing anything. Cake, we got the cake fertilizer, the fresh drumsticks is a big one. So if you see any other revenue streams potentially that you can make just from having seeds, making soil to plant your seeds in, which would create trees, that's a revenue stream, which would then offer all of these different things as you begin to build out your Moringa business and work within the Moringa tree industry. So just wanted to make it more clear as all the little things that you can make income with Moringa. Make $300 a day, make $1,000 a week, make $1,000 on a Saturday, make $10,000 a month, make over $100,000 a year, just working with the Moringa tree industry and just becoming a nurseryman or a woman or a farmer or some sort of retailer or wholesaler within the Moringa tree industry. There's so many different opportunities. And let's not forget one of the biggest ones of all of this, which starts with the soil and everything, and we'll put in here educator. So just teaching people about this, about soil, about the trees, about the seeds. So just teaching everybody about this is a huge aspect and revenue stream that you can bring in, because now even we are making money from social media and YouTube and all the different ways for our business to capitalize on just sharing our knowledge. You can actually get into learning all of these things, and one of our biggest ways for revenue is even the Grow Moringa Collective. And by joining, that helps us out a lot in getting more information to you and providing you with ideas to create more revenue and find other sources of income streams using the Moringa tree. So I'm really glad that you were with us today. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kendrick Henry, your local Moringa farmer. I hope you enjoyed all the different little nuances and things that you could do to potentially make an income just growing Moringa. So thanks for joining us. I really appreciate you. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Ciao.
Never had help, not waiting on a deal on my own time, on my own grind. You know we ain't never gonna quit.
Take my hand, baby girl, let's go. You know life's too short. Don't you miss the boat?